Good morning, everybody. I got my pot on, and for the recipe that I'm going to be doing, I need at least a good cup of cooked chicken or cooked turkey. I happen to have a big old chicken breast right here, so I'm going to use my chicken breast, and it is still a little bit frozen, but I'm going to put it right in my pot with the water, and it'll thaw up as it starts to cook. I am going to put in a little bit of seasoning, some garlic powder. If you can see that, garlic powder. Because I want my chicken to be a little bit seasoned when I go to put it in my recipe. Plus, I'm going to be using the broth from the chicken that might go in my recipe as well. So I want it a little bit seasoned, not much, but we're just going to cover it until that chicken breast is cooked done. And like I said, it's a little frozen, so it's going to have to thaw out, and then it'll cook. Shouldn't take long, and we'll come back and I'll show you how I'm going to put my dish together. Well, y'all, I think our chicken is done. Let me get a knife, just in case I need it over here. But our piece of chicken is done, and that's a great big old breast. And I can fix rice or dumplings or anything in that broth, or save it for another recipe, because I got a pot full of good chicken broth right there. And you can see this is a great big old chicken breast. This recipe usually calls from anywhere from 2 to 3 cups. I think in the beginning I said 1 cup, but it's 2 to 3 cups of either cooked chicken or turkey, either one. Now I've tried to let this chicken breast cool so I could handle it. I want to get the skin off of it, because we definitely don't want the skin in our recipe here. It's still a little bit hot. And yeah, you got to get your hands in it. I mean, unfortunately, you do. That's just part of cooking. But then you can start pulling the bones off and just gradually start pulling your chicken off and putting that in your measuring cup. This is a 2 cup measuring cup right here. So I'm going to see how much of this chicken I get off of this bone, off of this chicken breast. I hope it's enough, because I'm not going to cook another one. I think 1 is plenty. I mean, that 1 chicken breast in that pot could have made some good soup too. But I didn't want to make soup today. I wanted to make this other recipe. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm going to let you guess. See how many of you can guess and maybe get it right. Ooh, this is hot. There's a bone in there. The inside of this chicken breast is not cooled off yet. But it's getting there. And again, you can use turkey or chicken, either one, it doesn't matter. They're both birds. They both basically have the same type of meat. I don't want that little bone in there, though. It's cooked pretty done, but I still don't want a bone in there. And it doesn't have to be in too small of pieces, just kind of pulled apart and shredded some. Now this is I think I'll use one of the smaller knives. I'm just going to cut it. Instead of leaving it the long way like that, I'm just cutting it in chunks and then pulling it apart a little bit. You might say, well, why aren't you using your cutting board? Well, for the simple fact that this piece of chicken is kind of watery, because I just took it out of the pot. I didn't let it drain. And I didn't want any of the juices to run out on my stove. I'd rather keep it in the plate. Yeah, I think that's going to be maybe at least 2 cups. I hope. And like I said, the recipe is forgiving, so if I don't make 2 cups, that'll be all right too. Woo, that's hot. Yeah, just pull it apart in chunks. Now, if you want to use the whole 3 cups of chicken or turkey, be my guest. Go for it. That's totally up to you. Woo, that is hot, hot, hot. And like I said, I'm just cutting it across the grain so I can just kind of break it apart in like chunks, because I don't want great big long pieces in there. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, you got to preheat your oven to 375. I was about to forget that, y'all. My oven will not be heated up, will it? But when you cook chicken like this, it's a good way to get all the bones out of it before you try to put it in a recipe, because we definitely don't want bones. And we don't want any of that gristle meat or anything else. Definitely don't want the skin in there. But you know, I'm cooking for myself, so I don't want a whole great big pile of this. I just want one small dish of it. I mean, one small dish is going to be enough for at least 4 people. So it'll give me several helpings this week to eat. Have you guessed what I'm making yet? Take these bones and set them aside over here somewhere. Get them out of the way. Yeah, that's not 3 cups, but... Oh, it is 3 cups. I was thinking this was a 2-cup measuring cup. It's a 4-cup. So I've got actually 3.5 cups of chicken, which is going to be plenty. So we're going to just set that aside. Now the next step we got to do is I've got some turkey stuffing mix. Now you can use turkey or chicken, it doesn't matter. We're going to fix this according to the directions on the package. The only difference is where it says 1.5 cups of water, I'm going to use 1.5 cups of my broth here. If I can get it in here. There's one. I'm afraid I'm going to pour it all over the stove. And I might not got quite 1.5, I don't know. There, that's at least 1.5. And guess what? I'm going to put the rest of it in this cup. Makes almost a cup of bouillon. And we're going to use that in just a minute. But it should make a really rich recipe here. So, get this dish out of the way. Go ahead and heat this up. Because like I said, we're going to fix this stuffing mix just like you normally would, according to the box directions. Oh, and I spilt that broth down in there. Get some of it mopped up. Okay, it says to use well, it says 1.5 cups of water and 1/4 cup. So why didn't they just say 1 3/4 cup? But anyway, we got some. If we have to add water, I'll add water. 4 tablespoons of margarine. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut it off right there. It's a little more than 4, but that's okay. I like butter. I like butter. And I thought I was putting the camera in a good spot to see everything, but I don't know if I am or not because I keep getting in front of the camera and getting to the sink, so I don't know if that's a good spot for it or not. I was trying to cut down on the glare of the maybe I'll move it over here and see if it does any better. There, I think you can see what I'm doing here. Go ahead and open this. So you'll need at least 2 to 3 cups of chicken or turkey, either one you want to use, or either one you might have on hand. You'll need 1 box of stuffing mix, chicken or turkey. And I'm just getting it open. This is an easy way to do this. I'm going to put that right there right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grease this a little bit with some olive oil. I'm just going to spray it on there. You can use any kind of a cooking oil. You may not even need it for what I'm making, but get this turned up so it'll get hot so I can get this stuffing in there. But you can see how that chicken broth, just from that one piece, big piece of chicken, is made me some really good broth to use instead of water to make the stuffing mix. It'll give it a lot more flavor. Now, while we're waiting for that to do its thing, I've got, this is a 20-ounce package of broccoli stir fry. Now, you can get cauliflower and carrot, peas, mixture blend. I just happen to have this on hand, so I'm using it. You know, it has a little bit different vegetables in it, but it does have peas, it does have broccoli, and it does have cauliflower. It has carrots, and it's got a few other things, which it'll make it even better, I think. So that's what we're going to use. And you only need half of it. I don't even need the whole package of it, so. Well, it's a good thing I didn't need but half of it, because I just lost half of it in the floor. But most of it stayed in the bag, so. Let me get this other part up and get it up so I don't step on it. That'll just go in the compost. So be careful when you're opening your bag. Don't let your vegetables run away with you. Because, you know, I lost a handful, but not much. I wasn't going to use them all anyway, so. Okay, now I'm going to dump some of this in here. You only need 10 ounces of it, which would be half of this. I'm going to go ahead and use it all since I dropped some of it in the floor and I'm not going to use it. So I'm just going to put it all in here. Okay. Turn that burner off. Stir this around, and we're going to leave it set just like you normally would your stuffing mix. I got it stirred up good, and I'm going to put this on here. Put the lid on it. I'm going to put in my turkey, or my chicken. Yeah, I may need a bigger pan, but I'm sure this will cook down. More likely will cook down. Now also what we're going to do is we're gonna, why did I have this bowl here? We're gonna take a saucepan, and you can take a package of roasted turkey gravy or a package of roasted chicken gravy. In this case, I've got bone broth gravy on hand, so, and it's roasted turkey. So I'm going to use this one. Now what we're going to do with that is do just like the instructions say. You're going to whisk a packet of this in turkey broth gravy in 1 cup of cold water. And in this case, it's going to be my broth, and I add a little bit of water to it. Well, I'm going to get scissors this time. I'm not going to try to cut it with a knife because I'll end up tearing it and my gravy mix will fly all over the kitchen. So we don't want that to happen, do we? So I'm just going to put it right there. It says to mix it together, whisk it together. And I'm just going to have to stir it together because my whisk is not going to go in that. But you can whisk it with a fork the best you can. It's just like putting flour in there. You can, oops. You can mix it all up just as easily with a fork, I guess. Squish the bumps. As long as you get it mixed up somewhat. Make sure I don't have any big clumps in the bottom, which I don't. Now we're going to get our pan hot. We're going to bring it to a boil in our pan. All that good stuff in the bottom, huh? You know what? I'm going to put some more cold water in there and get all that out of there. There you go. Now we're just going to bring this to a boil, then reduce the heat and simmer it for about 1 minute. It should start to thicken by then. But see, I used all that bone broth. You know, the chicken stock that I had in the pot. I'm using every bit of it in this casserole dish. Yes, you guessed right. We're making a chicken casserole. An easy chicken casserole. And like I said, you can use turkey or chicken, either one. Either one you have on hand. I think I ate all my turkey that I had in the freezer. So I had to rely on chicken. Get this turned up to bring it to a boil. And I need to stick my butter back in the refrigerator so it doesn't melt. I don't want it to melt on me. I wonder what your favorite casserole is, but you know, this is a quick, easy one to do. Because a lot of times, you know, if you got a big family, you got leftover chicken, you might even have enough leftover chicken already cooked that you can put in this. Or leftover turkey from Thanksgiving, you can make a really great casserole. But you see that one great big chicken breast, that made like 3.5 cups of chicken. And I only needed 3 cups at the most. So this should be good. I got 3.5 cups in there. Now while that's doing its thing, I'm going to kind of mix my chicken up a little bit. I don't think I want it layered like that. I want some of the chicken down in there with the vegetables. Of course, you can do yours any way you want. And it's going to be down in there anyway when all those vegetables get cooked. You know, they're going to shrink down. And I just lost a piece of chicken on my stovetop. Good thing the burner's not on. But yeah, I thought I'd try it this time with my stir-fry blend. That's what that is. I mean, it's vegetables. It's the vegetables they ask for plus more. Now I'm going to turn this down because it's boiling. I'm going to simmer it for about just 1 minute because it's thickening up at this point. Y'all time me, make sure I keep it in there a minute. But this in itself is a healthy meal. I mean, just this alone is a full meal. And then you can have whatever kind of bread you want with it, if you want bread. But you know, you're going to have the stuffing, so I'll leave it up to you whether you have the bread or not. And I always like to have cranberry sauce with my dressing when I fix it. So I may open a can of dressing with this. I don't know. I have to see if I've got one. I think I've got one in the cabinet. I think that's simmered for a minute. What we're going to do is just pour our gravy, our broth gravy, right over the top of everything. Isn't it amazing how much stays in the pan when you do something like this? You can scrape it out and get another tablespoon or more. A couple of tablespoons, actually. Now what we're going to do is take our stuffing mixture, and we're going to put it right on top. And mine came out a little bit wetter than normal, but that's okay because it's going to bake in the oven for a little bit and it's going to dry it out anyway. So it don't matter. It might even help if it's a little wet instead of completely dried. Oh, it smells so good, y'all. I wish you were here and you could smell it. It'd be nice if YouTube had smell-o-vision. But this casserole dish is just the right size for this. This has been my favorite casserole dish forever. I mean, especially since my kids don't live at home anymore. You know, they're grown and they got families of their own. I used to have a 9x13 glass dish, but I broke it. And that's what I used to make my lasagna in. Because, you know, I had more mouths to feed. And my kids could eat. Oh my goodness, they could eat. Now I'm just gonna try to smear this out all over the top. I'm hoping you can see what I'm doing. I know the picture shows up a little bit differently when you're watching it than it does on my picture screen on my camera. But another thing I'm going to do is get me a pan and put it under this casserole dish, because I don't want it to bubble over and go on my oven floor. I mean, you know how that goes. I gotta taste this. Oh my God. Finger licking good, y'all. And I didn't add any salt. It doesn't need salt with that gravy mix, because that gravy mix has salt. And I'm just going to wipe the top of my pan, my dish, because I've got some of the dressing up over on the top. And I like to wipe it off so it doesn't burn on the dish. To me, it looks terrible when you have burnt stuff on the top of your dish. And not to mention, it makes it harder to clean. So let me get a dish over here to put on, I mean, not a dish, but a pan. Oh, let's see, what pan should I get? I was almost ready to buy a oven liner. And I talked myself out of it. But I'm going to put it right on here. That way if it bubbles over, that's fine. It can bubble over. I'm going to put it in my oven and leave it for a good 30 minutes. It may take 45 because my vegetables were frozen. But we'll bring you back when I get ready to take it out of the oven, y'all. Well, we're back, y'all. And I let mine cook another 15 minutes. Plus, I added another 4 ounces of gravy to it because the 1 cup wasn't quite enough. You need actually 12 ounces. The 1 cup is only 8 ounces. So I added just a tiny little, 4 more ounces of gravy to my mixture. I just kind of moved the stuffing aside and kind of poured it down around it so it would go under it and in it. And I think it's done now, so I'm going to pull it out of the oven and see how it's doing. It's looking good, y'all. And the extra gravy that I put in there was a little bit darker gravy, but that's okay. Because sometimes I add kitchen bouquet to my gravy to darken it. But look how it's bubbling. I mean, that looks really good, y'all. It looks really good. I think that extra 15 minutes is really what it needed, because I like my stuffing on the top to be kind of browned, and I want to make sure my vegetables are cooked since they were frozen when I put them in there. And I'm not real sure that my oven was, all the way up to 375 when I put it in there, so the little bit of extra time didn't hurt at all. Now we're going to turn my oven off. Now I got hiccups again. I got the hiccups yesterday, and it's like, oh my goodness. Normally I wouldn't dig into it right now. I'd let it sit there for a little bit. But since this is for YouTube, for my video, I'm going to go ahead and dig into some of it. And I didn't mean to get a slotted spoon because I want that gravy. I thought I got a solid spoon. Here, let's use one of these. I mean, it's plenty moist, really. But I want a little bit of that gravy. There you go. And since the stuffing is, you know, on the top, it didn't soak up all that gravy. But don't that look good? Chicken casserole. Or, like I said, you can use turkey or chicken, either one. I use the chicken meat plus the turkey dressing, so it's turkey chicken casserole, I guess. Or you can use the turkey meat and a chicken stuffing mix if you want to. But I gotta try it. A little hot. Take about a mouthful, y'all. Don't that look good? Oh my, I've lost it, y'all. I lost it. It's steaming hot. This is my dinner, and it'll be my dinner for the next couple of nights, I'm sure. Oh my God, that is so good. There's a little bit more salt in there than normal that I would put in. But you know, the gravy mixes are a little salty. So you might want to watch out for that. Take you another spoonful of that, a forkful. That is a winning dish there, y'all. That is a winning dish. Y'all need to try it. But like I said, you might want to put an extra 15 minutes on your time. That is if you aren't sure that you heated up your oven quite to 375 by the time you put it in there. Because those vegetables are frozen. And it doesn't hurt to leave it in there an extra 5, 10, 15 minutes just to make sure. And my vegetables are done just fine. I mean, they're just fine, I think. And it's different when you put in the stir-fry mix rather than just the peas, carrots, and cauliflower and broccoli. That is good. So if all you got in your freezer is a stir-fry mixture, don't be afraid to put it in there. I just didn't need the whole thing, but it worked out fine. I like the vegetables, so it doesn't matter that I put a few extra ones in there. I think it turned out better with the stir-fry mix. Because you got peppers, you got watercress. I don't have the peas, but I have other vegetables that take the place of them. So look at that. Look, that look good. It tastes every bit as good as it looks too. Y'all take another bite. I'm in my happy place, y'all. But please like, share, subscribe to my videos. Tell all your friends about my videos. Have them watch my videos. Help me out. I need all the views I can get. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all. Bye now.